Hello and welcome to the July edition of Bridge to India's monthly update on renewable energy tenders, auctions, and policy announcements. July was a relatively busy month. 4 tenders aggregating 2,400 megawatts were issued in the month, up 43% over June 2021. SECI was the biggest tender issuer with 2 new tenders aggregating 1,300 megawatt, followed by NHPC and NTPC. There were no new rooftop tenders issued in July. Bid submission deadlines were extended for 12 tenders while bids were submitted for SECI's 1,785 megawatt tender for Rajasthan. After no auction in the previous month, auction activity also witnessed an upswing in July. 4 auctions aggregating 2,000 megawatt were completed in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. This chart shows that the overall activity level continues to be relatively subdued, mainly on the back of delay in tying up PPAs with DISCOMs. Now, let's look at notable tender announcements in the month. SECI issued a 1,200 megawatt ISTS solar tender in Karnataka. This is a somewhat unique tender with land provided by Karnataka Solar Power Development Corporation on sublease basis and transmission connectivity restricted to Gadag and Koppal substations. NHPC floated an EPC tender for a 600 megawatt project in Rajasthan. Successful bidder would also be responsible for providing O&M services for 10 years. The project would be set up in Jaisalmer district. The hydropower generator has recently turned to solar and has so far tendered 2,955 megawatt capacity. NTPC also issued an EPC tender to develop 500 megawatt solar projects across India. Contractor scope includes land acquisition as well as O&M services for 3 years. Finally, SECI issued a tender for development of a 100 megawatt solar project in Chhattisgarh on an EPC basis. The tender scope includes land acquisition. A unique aspect of this tender is that at least 50% of modules are required to be procured domestically. Now, let's take a look at the auctions completed in the month. MSEDCL conducted an auction for a 500 megawatt solar wind hybrid tender. Rated capacity of each resource, wind or solar, needs to be at least 33% of total contracted capacity. Developers are required to procure modules from MNRE's ALMM, applicable anytime between the bid submission deadline and up to the date of commissioning. Tata Power and Azure Power emerged as the winners, with tariff bids of Rs 2.62. Renew O2 and JSW Energy did not win any capacity. MSEDCL conducted another auction for a 500 megawatt pan-India solar tender. In this tender as well, developers would have to procure cells and modules only from ALMM up to the date of commissioning. Acme won 300 megawatt at Rs 2.42, while Renew bagged 200 megawatt capacity at 2.43. This was the first win for Acme since December 2020. Other bidders that participated but lost in the auction were Tata, Ovada, NTPC, Torrent, Azure, O2 Power, Mahagenco. Madhya Pradesh also conducted 2 solar park-based auctions for 550 megawatt and 450 megawatt capacity respectively. Both these tenders were heavily oversubscribed. For the 550 megawatt Agar Solar Park, O2 Power won 350 megawatt capacity with a bid of Rs 2.44, while Avada bagged 200 megawatt with a bid of Rs 2.46. In the 450 megawatt Shajapur Solar Park tender, NTPC won 220 and 105 megawatt projects by quoting Rs 2.33 and 2.44 respectively. Solar Arise was the other winner for 125 megawatt capacity at INR 2.34. These 2 tenders had been stuck for over a year, as many deviations like offtake guarantee and commissioning timeline extension had to be approved by CERC. 2 key features of these auctions are high oversubscription and winning tariff levels. Subscription levels have shot up due to strong investment appetite and slowdown in new auctions. As a result, bidding intensity is very high. Despite firm module prices, ALMM restrictions and BCD from April 2022 onwards, tariffs have gone up by only about 0.40 rupees in the last 6 months, which is highly inadequate in our view. So, that was the roundup for tender and auction announcements from the month. Now, let's have a look at important policy and regulatory updates. Let's begin with updates from the central government. MNRE has extended commissioning deadline of solar and wind projects impacted by COVID. MNRE has granted a further 76 days commissioning deadline extension to solar and wind power projects with scheduled commissioning deadline on or after 1st April 2021. The extension is applicable to projects awarded by SECI, NTPC and NHPC, but states are expected to provide similar extensions. This extension is broadly along the expected lines. MNRE has removed limit on SCOD extension for hybrid projects delayed due to transmission issues. MNRE has removed extension limit of 60 days for solar wind hybrid projects that are unable to meet commissioning deadline due to transmission related delays. The commissioning extension would now be granted on a case-to-case basis. In another important change, developers will not be required to pay Rs 0.5 million per megawatt towards contribution to Payment Security Fund if they execute PPAs directly with DISCOMs. Both of these changes are desirable. Transmission delays are expected to become more serious after the recent Supreme Court order to protect habitat of the critically endangered Great Indian Bustard. Similar amendments are also expected for solar and wind power projects. The ministry has clarified that state regulators would be free to set system size limit for availing net metering benefit. In case there is no such defined limit, it has recommended net metering facility to be available to consumers up to their sanctioned load with a maximum system size of 500 kilowatt. Rajasthan has already adopted the limit of 500 kilowatt. Punjab and Karnataka are also likely to adopt the 500 kilowatt limit. The ministry had earlier recommended a system size cap of 10 kilowatt for net metering. West Bengal has adopted a lower limit of 5 kilowatt, while Gujarat is considering a 10 kilowatt cap. We believe that most states are keen to phase out net metering, particularly for CNI consumers. Now, let's have a look at updates from states. Rajasthan has imposed electricity duty on captive solar power projects. The state DISCOMs have levied electricity duty of 0.6 rupees per kilowatt hour on all captive solar power projects and rooftop solar systems under net metering arrangement. The duty would be applicable from 1st April 2020. According to the state solar power policy, all solar power systems are exempted from paying electricity duty. Imposition of this duty, therefore, creates unnecessary confusion among consumers and developers. The duty is yet another attempt by the DISCOMs to slow growth of rooftop solar, but the route still remains financially attractive for consumers. Karnataka has proposed to allow net metering for system sizes up to sanctioned load. Karnataka Electricity Regulatory Commission has proposed to allow net metering for system sizes up to sanctioned load or 500 kilowatt, whichever is lower. Earlier, the state regulator had proposed a lower system size limit of 10 kilowatt. This proposal follows Ministry of Power's latest clarification on system size limit for net metering. While this higher limit is beneficial, the market is unlikely to see any material benefit as net metering is still not available for OPEX model. Moreover, lack of net metering guidelines in the state continues to delay installations. That was the roundup for the month of July, and we hope it was useful for you. We would love to hear from you. Please send us your feedback at contact@bridgetoindia.com. We would be back early next month with the next update. Until then, goodbye and take care.